Ladies and gentlemen, they're at it again. President Trump is not only vindicated. The New York Times, this is the New York Times, malaria drug helps patients improve in small study. This is the other day. A group of moderately ill people were given hydroxychloroquine, which appeared to ease their symptoms quickly. All right, this is by Denise Grady. April 1st, 2020. This is the other day, ladies and gentlemen. Is this a cure? No. Is there perhaps better treatment? Yes. Is this segment, am I giving anyone medical advice? Absolutely not. Is President Trump saying that this is the absolute cure without any side effects? And that this is the panacea, the holy grail of treatment? No. The petulant, malicious, just disingenuous political establishment cannot simply give Trump credit. What do you expect him to do? Say, well, we don't have any treatment that is 100% categorically, without a shadow of a doubt, effective beyond, any reasonable doubt. So don't do anything. Just, God forbid, it's either no treatment or ventilators, or what do you expect him to say? Obviously, people need to alleviate the pain, the suffering, lower the temperature, the fever. There are symptoms associated with this that if hydrochloroquine or chloroquine can help, and if a study already helped patients improve, so this is the New York Times. I will actually read you also CDC. A study in China reported that chloroquine treatment of patients had clinical and virological benefit versus a comparison group, and chloroquine was added as a recommended antiviral for treatment in China. Based on limited in vitro and anecdotal data, chloroquine and hydrochloroquine are currently recommended for treatment of hospitalized patients in several countries. It's almost as if certain people on the left, or Democrats, or media, dare I say, almost as if they want you to just, really suffer. The knock on President Trump now is, oh my God, he's pushing this unproven claim. He didn't make the claim that they're trying. They always do this with Trump. They say, well, without evidence. He's not saying anything categorical. He's saying, look, if you're suffering, it's the CDC. This is cdc.gov. Therapeutic options. You can just go hydrochloroquine and chloroquine. A study in China reported that chloroquine treatment patients had clinical and virological benefits versus a comparison group. And chloroquine was added as a recommended antiviral for treatment in China. Based upon limited in vitro and anecdotal evidence, chloroquine and hydrochloroquine are currently recommended for treatment of hospitalized patients in several countries. Okay, what more do you want, Democrats and media frothing at the mouth, petulant, malicious, vile naysayers? You're just sitting back gleefully, touching yourself in ecstasy probably as, Trump says, hey, you know what? There's some evidence here, anecdotal. There's a scientist and a researcher in France that has also championed this. Oh, by the way, Australia, hydrochloroquine, Australian government waives regulation requirement for drug. This is The Guardian. I guess Australia is under the spell of the orange monster. Well, let's read this. Cough, fever, and pneumonia went away faster, and the disease seemed less likely to turn severe in people who received hydrochloroquine than in a comparison group not given the drug. The authors of the report said that the medication was promising, but that more research was needed to clarify how it might work in treating the disease and to determine the best ways to use it. This is a public health crisis that needs some kind of treatment. And if there's a promising treatment, why deny it? Why denigrate or deny it and say, well, there's side effects. There's side effects of everything. Of vitamin C. There's side effects of any drug, of Tylenol, of anything you ingest that's medication. There's side effects. Anything. So just simply saying there are side effects, okay, well, let's just read this here. The study was small and limited to patients who were mildly or moderately ill, not severe cases. Like many reports, it was posted, but the findings strongly support earlier studies suggesting a role for the drug, Dr. Schaefer said. I think it will reinforce the inclination of many people across the country who are not in a position to enter their patients into clinical trials but have already begun using hydrochloroquine. What are you going to do? Previous reports from China and France that the drugs seem to help patients, along with enthusiastic comments from President Trump, have created a buzz around hydrochloroquine and the closely related chloroquine, which are decades-old drugs used to treat malaria and autoimmune diseases like lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. A resulting spike in demand has led to, with no proven treatment for what's going on, many hospitals have simply been giving hydrochloroquine to patients, reasoning that it might help and probably will not hurt because it is relatively safe. This is the New York Times. And then now, of course, you have doctors or you have articles saying, "Oh my God, Trump is pushing a very, very, dangerous." What do you want a president? You want a president not to actually give some kind of hope, not to actually talk about what medical professionals are already using. They're already using this to alleviate symptoms and treatment. So it's just unbelievable. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, here, he's been proven right, and they're going back at it again because they don't have anything. It is a situation where 8 out of the 10, and by the way, I have, to my 7-minute crowd, later on today, I have a very important segment. One of the most important segments I've ever done on Andrew Cuomo suing President Trump over travel restrictions in February. He was literally suing the federal government in February because of travel restrictions. Okay? He never spoke about anything to do with ventilators or anything in February. So check that out. That's very, 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 very important. That will be out probably, I would say about 5 hours from now. But just type in Andrew Cuomo Trump on YouTube or check this channel and watch that segment and share that segment with anyone you know who lives in New York. But ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable. You can go to the New York Times, and 8 of the top 10 of the states that have the most cases, and New York leads by, unfortunately, a wide by 100,000 cases. 8 of the top 10, ladies and gentlemen, are run by Democratic governors. You can look right here, and I explain this in my segment later on today, so check that out. It's very important. New York, run by Chuck Schumer and Andrew Cuomo, America's governor, suing, by the way, the president a week after he had acknowledged that this was... So President Trump in late January not only started a task force, but called this, labeled it a public health emergency. 122,911 cases in New York. New Jersey, 37,505 cases. So why is New Jersey so much better run than New York? And there's still Democrats running New Jersey. So New York has 122,911 cases. Then it's New Jersey, 37,505 cases. Then it's Michigan, 15,635 cases. Then it's California, 15,076 cases. Then it's Louisiana, 13,010 cases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5 states who are suffering the most, with New York by far by far, with the most cases, almost 100,000 more cases than New Jersey. And this is over 100,000 more cases than Michigan, California, or Louisiana. Run by Chuck Schumer and Andrew Cuomo, America's governor. Why? Why are the top five top five states that have the most cases run by Democratic governors? It is not the job of President Trump to govern New York or govern New Jersey or govern Michigan or govern California or govern Louisiana. And you look at the states that have the least amount of problems, they're all Republican states or have Republican governors. So the media spin the nonsense that Trump was slow to react. He was earlier to react than Andrew Cuomo was, than Chuck Schumer was. Schumer had one tweet in late January, and they say, oh, well, he warned Trump. It's like, no. Chuck Schumer is the, Senate Minority Leader. He could easily have started some kind of subcommittee or some kind of congressional committee to address this. He did not. Why is that? Why did he not do that? Because he was focused on impeachment. He literally tried to remove the president from office. So, the whole thing is nonsense. Democrats were asleep at the wheel. They got caught with their pants down. They were inept. They were irresponsible as usual. Their contempt for Trump consumed their lives, their very beings. Every second of their lives are devoted to despising Trump. That's why when they lose with Hillary Clinton, because Biden ain't going to be nominee. Biden is about as realistic as Michael Bloomberg. When they lose with Clinton again, okay, it'll be like, Ollie Frazier, Celtics, Lakers, Red Sox, Yankees, Rocky 2, Rocky 4, whatever. Clinton will lose again. She will become president if you do not tell everyone you know to vote President Trump. So that's another thing. People are going to underestimate Hillary Clinton. She can actually win. That's something you need to understand. But anyway, my prediction will be the biggest political prediction, analysis, evaluation call of all time. I have been saying that Clinton will be nominee, not just run, nominee. Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump. The Huffington Post, February 2017. But anyway, New York leads the country in cases. It's a Democratic machine in New York. Tammany Hall, same as the 1800s. And why do they lead the country in cases? You want to talk about criminal justice? Why is Rikers Island and all the other, prisons and jails in New York so horrendous? The Democrats are the antithesis of what they claim to be. This is going to be the MC Breed election. Ain't no future in your frontin'. Democrats, all they do is pretend and front and pretend to be something they're not. And they have the media to fall back on. New York leads with 122,911 cases. You mean to tell me that Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand, who ran for president, and de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo are presiding over 122,911 cases in New York, when New Jersey, next door, only has 37,505 cases, and then it drops to Michigan, 15,635, California, 15,076, Louisiana, 13,000, and all the way, if you look it down, it's Florida, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Washington, and there's two states here, Massachusetts and Florida, with Republican governors. Of the top 10, 8 of the top 10 are Democrats. Democratic governors who then complain, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, do not believe the media narrative. Getting back to chloroquine and hydrochloroquine, what do you expect Trump to do? What do they want Trump to do? It's like they don't realize that at this point right now, you don't need ironclad proof and evidence that something might help a great number of people or certain people. You need to go with medication and treatment that has already shown, whether it's anecdotal or whether medical professionals in China have adopted this, or in France or in Australia or other countries. You need to go with treatment that has already shown in some way to have benefited people. And you have a study already that the New York Times cited. Okay? So the theatrics from Democrats, it's unbelievable. Oh, Trump is touting an unproven. Yeah, it's unproven, technically. But there's already a study that vindicates President Trump. And in terms of patients being treated in China and France and other countries, it's working for some people or a great many people. What are you going to do? Deny hope or deny treatment or deny the possibility that a fever will be reduced or that pain and suffering will be alleviated just to appease the petulant, malicious Monday morning quarterbacks or, armchair quarterbacks who sit there and say, well, Trump is really horrible. This wouldn't have happened with Clinton. Yes, because Clinton has always been tested. For what crisis has she ever passed? She couldn't even type an email without including classified and top secret and special access program intelligence on along with it on servers running outside the United States government. What major accomplishment? Name one. Anyway, she'll be the nominee again, which will be fantastic. God bless Hillary Clinton. Clinton's quest to become president vindicates everything I've ever said, so God bless her. She's my second favorite politician after President Trump. Bernie is far below Hillary Clinton. At least Clinton fights. Bernie does not fight. He's like, emails, Burisma, my friends. These are my friends. They're not your friends. Anyway, they're at it again. They can't possibly give Trump any credit for anything. They can't give him not even a second during this crisis where they say, okay, you know what? He's proven right time and again. The travel ban originally with China, you can't do that. Then he's proven right. And by the way, and make sure to my 17-minute crowd, later on today, probably around, I'd say 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, around then, check this channel. I have a very, very, very important segment about New York and Governor Cuomo suing President Trump because of travel restrictions. And the fact that in February, he was nowhere to be found regarding this current crisis. They were completely blindsided, Schumer and Cuomo, and the Democratic machine in New York, which is why that state, compared to every other state, that state has suffered the most, because it's run by petulant Democrats. Give me your thoughts below. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. If you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below. Thank you so very, very much, especially in this tough time. If you support my voice, I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts below. They're at it again. Thank you very much.